this is a message for someone who's dealing with a lot of anxiety lately. Well, you've been calling it anxiety, but the message I've been getting is that really you've been dealing with intrusive fears regarding something very important to you that you have going on right now, and that is actually going quite well. But you keep getting this intrusive, not even images, more like movies of worst case scenarios of how this could unfold, this thing that you're very invested in, this thing that you really care about, that you have going on right now, whatever it is. If this message is for you, it will resonate and you will know what I'm talking about. Well, this thing, by all accounts, you can't deny it's kind of going great, but it's almost like the better it goes, the more these fears get the best of you. So what I'm getting is, and I've been getting this for over a day, this message, that what you're dealing with actually, and this probably hasn't even crossed your mind if this message is for you, is a light version of PTSD. Okay, something happened years ago. I'm getting many years ago, not recently, and it happened in the same area of whatever this is that you're dealing with right now. Okay, and back then things unfolded in such a way, you had really high hopes back then for whatever that scenario was. Let's use this example. Say many years ago, you were going for a dream job of yours at the time, and you were very hopeful for this position, and you might have thought interviewing was going well, and you had the right contacts, the right situation, you thought it was going to work out. And then not only it didn't work out, but it went really poorly. And they probably, in this example, which it could be many, but in this example, the rejection was harsh, okay? So whatever happened, it happened in an unnecessarily harsh way. And you didn't have the right tools, let's just put it that way, at the time to deal with it in a healthy way. So you got over it, took you a while, but it affected you maybe more than you realized. And it sort of maybe even shaped your personality a little bit, at least in that department. And now something is happening. Well, the thing that we've been talking about that's happening, what's interesting about it is that there is some kind of similarity. And it might not be obvious. It might just be more of a feeling, vibe. It's like you feel similarly than you did back then. And for that reason, your brain has activated this that might have been long in the back burner, like in the back burner of your mind. Like maybe you hadn't thought about this in many years, this scenario that we're talking about. Maybe you hadn't even connected the dots that there was any connection, but if you're thinking about it now, and this message is for you, you will be able to clearly see that there is a connection between these worst case scenario movies you're getting and what actually did happen in this other situation years ago. There is a theme. The core issue here is you have a tremendous fear of history repeating itself, and it has a lot to do with your emotional investment in the situation. Maybe you haven't cared that much about getting one specific job in a long time. Maybe you haven't shooted for a dream job in a long time, okay? And now you're going for it. And so that's why this is stirring all that up that you didn't properly heal the first time around, and honestly it kind of traumatized you. Is what I'm getting is trauma, and that's why you're getting this PTSD type symptoms of flashbacks, intrusive thoughts, and overwhelming feelings. You might have been feeling like you're having disproportionate feelings to the situation, especially because, like I said, it almost seems like the situation is going really well. So say it's a job and you're interviewing, like it's been going as good as you could have hoped for it to go. And so you're like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I going through this? I shouldn't be having this level of anxiety. And I think you're being kind of hard on yourself is what I'm getting overall as well. And so the message that's been coming through is, number one, you need to acknowledge your past trauma. You need to sort of revisit that as much as you might not want to, and see what similar themes are being brought up in these intrusive fears about this new situation, this current situation. Like, what are the commonalities, the common denominators between what actually did take place that traumatized you and the intrusive flashback type fears you're getting? Because I'm also getting that you're getting lost in this management or self-management of your own emotions and feelings. You may be a person very well aware of manifesting, and so you know that when you mix a strong emotion with vivid visualizations, you are manifesting. So maybe right now the reason you're being so hard on yourself is because you're afraid that you're manifesting a worst case scenario for yourself here when everything is going great, and so you're kind of beating yourself up about it, and so it's creating this like really nasty negative feedback loop that is hard to get out of. This like in Spain we say, this fish that it's its own tail. Like you just, the worse you feel about these intrusive feelings and thoughts you're having, and possibly being manifesting negative things on accident because of them, the worse you feel, and the more you do that, and the more you beat yourself up. So it's becoming toxic for you and hard to manage. But here's the thing, this is all happening for you to be able to quantum leap, okay? So by shooting for this dream job, whatever scenario you have that you are going for, might not be a job, maybe a home, maybe many scenarios. Let's not get into it. You do the math. But whatever you're doing, by setting your sights higher than you have in a long time, in terms of personal fulfillment, you are setting yourself up for actually a whole like quantum leap in your life, in every area of your life. Because if you leap in this area and you overcome your obstacles that are these hang-ups, that are these past traumas, it's gonna catapult you into a whole new reality. It's not just gonna be this area of your life. You're gonna be upgraded in every area. And so this is also why all these things are coming up. So it's important that you take him up almost as a test. I said in my oracle this week that it was going to be a testy week. Well, yeah, these are timeless messages, but what's coming up are tests. These things are tests for you to apply the knowledge and wisdom you now have that you didn't have back then, to recover from this trauma that you went through. Okay, so as you go through this is an opportunity to heal that past thing as well as embrace this new one. Okay, so it's all about remaining grounded in your current reality, understanding why your brain is doing this, being kind to yourself while you're navigating it, and understand also that negative emotions carry less electric charge than positive emotions. So when you manifest from a place of love and excitement, you're actually feeling something much more than when you're manifesting from fear. So, don't be so hard on yourself, and hopefully this whole thing was helpful.